You guys just got loud.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the 67th episode of The Get Down. My name is Cream.
Gary W. here.
We're starting off this episode. It's a tumultuous day out here. First and foremost, Gary's been traveling. He's been home at his house in Florida for like 2 days. I don't know, out of the last month.
I had a 3-day vacation at home. I've slept in my own bed 2 days, and I don't know. I think it's been a handful of days since December 2nd, honestly. I don't even know what day it is.
Listen, such is life out here, you know?
Gotta travel. We got a lot going on. And so I came in sluggish into the office to record, coming off like 5 different forms of transportation, and then found out about, our first topic. And it has reinvigorated me and given me some energy in life, because I'm really excited to hear, because I haven't even really heard the whole thing. This person who we're going to put on blast here, I kind of want to like dig into his Instagram while we're doing this live, just to kind of have a live reaction to who this person is. But I'm going to let you take the stage here. And because I know that your DMs have been blowing up. I just watched your story of you telling a tidbit of the story and what's going on. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm going to first say welcome to anyone who's not listened to the Get Down podcast, because anyone that's checked out my Instagram story today has been like blowing me up. Like, yo, you got to tell me who it is. And so I said to Gary, I'm like, let's reveal who the DJ is on the podcast so people can come check out the show who might have never checked the show out. So this is the Get Down podcast. It's 2 DJs, producers that talk about stuff that happens in nightlife, stuff that happens in our DJ sets, and then ways that we can help DJs to kind of overcome the same situations through our experiences and kind of help other DJs grow their business, market themselves and do all these things. So that's what we do here. So this morning,
this is usually recorded earlier in the week. So I feel like karma's a bitch for this person, because we're recording it on a day that we never, ever record it. Because of I was on, like I said, mini vacation and my travel schedule. So, and we didn't put one out last week. So it's imperative that we put one out this week. So I think just the karma aspect of this and the timing of it is so ironic, maybe, or it's just, this is the way it should be.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead.
So this morning I woke up, there was a bunch of edit packs that I had downloaded over the course of the last week. And Thursday is usually my day to download, organize music, and prep for the weekend for the gigs, right? So I'm going through these edit packs and I'm like, man, this sounds really familiar. Actually, I think I did an edit of this vocal and this instrumental. And it was Leave the World Behind, Swedish House Mafia vocal. And it was with I guess an electro house instrumental by Sky called Quiggin. And the vocals were pitched down and it was chopped up in such a way, and the instrumental was chopped up in such a way that it was like very recognizable for me, because I never remember any of my edits. Our own DJs can be playing my tracks and it'll take me 10 minutes to realize that was my song in the first place. So I'm like, I definitely did this. Let me go look in Serato and see like how similar they are. And I'm looking and I'm like, yo, they're pretty similar. Like, and then I'm like, wait a second. They're like really similar. Like, are they the same?
Did you play them next to each other in Serato?
Yeah. So I don't have a DJ set up at my house at the moment.
No, you could just do it.
Yeah. So channel 2 or whatever
you could do. Yeah.
So yeah, I lined them up and I'm like, dude, the waveform's exactly the same. And anyone who has my music, my waveforms are not like super slam. They're if anything, they're a little smaller than a lot of the other DJs that put out edits. I just think it creates a cleaner sound. I could still get the volume I want. So then, it's 3 minutes and 41 seconds. What is his edit? 3 minutes and 41 seconds. I have a very distinct way of labeling my edits where it's, Swedish House Mafia with an X and then the next artist and then an X and then the next artist. He had the exact same label. And the only difference was this person's name mashup and then Cream edit, whatever. Cream Quiggin edit is how I named it. So I hit up some of our DJs and they're like, yo, I think it's the same. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's the same too. So then I started the whole Instagram thing and like a million people came out of the woodwork. It was like entertaining to me. I wasn't mad. Like, I don't care. It's a fucking edit. I'm not making money off it. Like, if someone's going to steal my shit, it's like, I don't know. That's whack to me. Like, that's never something I would ever do. It's not even original music or a remix. Like, it's just an edit. Like, I don't know. That's lame as fuck to me, but
it's lazy. It's lazy.
It's lazy and it's just whack. Like, I never understand that. I just
what's even more lazy is that he didn't even take the 15 seconds that it would take to switch around the labeling.
I guess if you're gonna steal it, you just steal it.
If I'm stealing something like that, I'm switching everything around and just making it to where like you would even question it more. Like you're questioning it now, and multiple people have listened to it, and the way you do have a unique stamp on the way you write your labels out, because we obviously have coached DJs up into trying to do a similar thing. So to just blatantly just take your name off and just put his name on is just mind blowing to me. Like,
yeah,
you've already saved yourself the couple hours it would have taken to make the edit. Just take the extra 15 seconds to relabel it anyway.
Something else that I've done in the past, and I don't care if any other DJs do it. I often play the edits when the people do this, but like I've taken an edit that someone else created and maybe shortened it or took some of the vocal out or whatever, just created something that would work in my sets.
Right.
And then just put like Swedish House Mafia times Sky times Cream. And like, I don't give a fuck. That's fine. Just give me the credit that I created this edit and I'm good. I don't care what you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like something super simple. It's just weird to me, but so, I've gotten like 100 and something DMs. Everyone's hitting me up like, who was it? Or people taking guesses. There were some really funny guesses because I just think back to like other instances of like people stealing music and like the fights I've seen on social media.
Okay.
Cedric Gervais was a big one that people threw out there.
Really?
Yeah. So Olive Oil and Pat C both hit me up separately and was like, yo, we just had the exact same problem with this person on the exact same pack where they did the same thing and just took their I Can Be the One into Tremor edit that's actually on the Get Down edit pack, which is even crazier to me. That something that we're putting out, you're taking and putting your own name on, like, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just I don't know what. So Patsy and Olive Oil got back to me. They're like, yo, we talked to the guy and he said that he has like a ghost producer that's doing this stuff. And apparently he's just stealing people's music. I hit the guy up. He hasn't hit me back yet. So like, I was waiting to like really destroy him because I wanted to see what he was going to say, but he hasn't said anything yet. So the moment you've all been waiting to hear, the producer who stole my music, Olive Oil and Patsy's music is Funk D. He's well known in the mashup and edit world. I play a bunch of his stuff. Like he makes good edits. Maybe they weren't his.
Right, exactly. You're playing somebody else's edit with his name on it. I don't know him from a hole
in the wall other than just from like the music world. And he plays a lot of big shows. He's played big festivals. He played all over the world. Name a city, like he's played it. So he's a big DJ and producer. He's got records signed on Armada, like Smash the House, or he's got a bunch of stuff.
Hold on. Let me show you something too, though. See how your bio is written? Yeah. This is going to be pure irony.
Why? He has the X's or something the same as me? I mean, that's kind of standard. I'm not going to.
I'm just saying because I was flipping back and forth between both of your Instagrams and I'm like, oh, look at this.
That's funny. So like at the end of the day, I don't care really. It's more funny to me than like, it doesn't hurt my feelings or make me mad. And like, everyone's like, yo, you should fucking kill. Like, I'm not going to kill the guy, whatever. If he wants to jump on the podcast and like, well, we could talk about it or defend himself or, if he wants to like, hit me up, I don't care.
Would love to hear from him. And some food for thought for him would be, if I'm a big enough DJ to where I'm traveling so much and I need somebody to ghost produce for me, do your homework and make sure that these ghost producers aren't stealing other people's edits, especially, you're on a decent amount of record pools. Number one, a good amount of festival DJs have played your edits. Number two. And number three, you have a...
Sorry.
Very all good.
I'm trying to pull them up on SoundCloud.
You do slam radio mixes once a month that get played over in Europe, like, and your stuff's on there. Like, I'm not saying DJ Cream is worldwide here, but I'm saying in the mashup world, your music gets around. So you really need to be diligent when you're going to slap your name on something that you didn't produce because you hired a ghost producer. It's because your name's on it. You're responsible now. You know?
It's just like when you hire anyone or you work with anyone, like for Get Down, for example, any DJ that we hire is representing us, right? Representing you, representing me, representing the Get Down brand. So sure, have people messed up in the past and done something wrong and it looks badly on us? Of course. But in this particular situation, I think if you're hiring someone to make music for you where your name is going to go on it, number one, I'd be pretty heavily involved in that. I would never do that, but I would be heavily involved in the process. And I would lay out some pretty strict guide rules as far as what is okay and what's not. I don't know, maybe you don't even think that someone's going to steal other people's music and put your name on it. So I guess maybe I understand from that perspective, you don't think someone's going to do that, but maybe you hired the wrong person or didn't do the right, I don't know, the right background checks or whatever.
It's pure laziness for multiple reasons here. But the main one is an edit. This isn't hard to come up with an idea. All you got to do is come up with the idea and give that ghost producer the idea and just have them bang it out.
Right.
If you're so lazy that you can't even come up with 2 songs to mash up or 3 songs to mash up, I don't know. You shouldn't even be hiring anybody to do this shit because you have to be inspired by, when you're playing a song and another song, you're like, oh, this will sound good together. You have to be inspired enough to like write that stuff down and think it's important enough to write that down and then pass the work off. At least it's then your idea.
Yeah.
You didn't have to produce it,
I mean, listen, not for nothing. There is a ton of this happening. I know there's a ton of edit guys who are getting paid to make edits for various sites that I know for a fact have other DJs or producers make music that they then put their name on for a couple of reasons, right? So the record pool artist can make money, number one. And then the other artist who's making the music, who might not be as well known, can get their name and their track on various record pools, like using a bigger edit artist name to help you grow your name is not a bad thing, Right. I don't do that, but that's just me. I know a lot of other people who have done that, but.
Right. I mean, listen, I gave Angelo an idea last week and he banged a mix out and, he banged it out and I sat here and just told him what I thought needed to be done. And he just did it because it would take me 3 days where it took him an hour,
Right. But we've done that a million times. And
a million times.
Just because you're not actually at the computer doesn't mean that you're not using your production skills and your ear to help curate the song. Like just because I'm sitting here on Ableton doesn't mean that you're not producing the song as well.
But
you're involved in the whole process.
That's what I mean about that's pure laziness, not even to come up with the idea. You know what I mean? Like you gotta do something. So it's a fine line. Well, it's not a fine line. It's pretty finite. Just don't be fucking lazy and do your homework and do due diligence and stop slapping your name on shit that's not yours.
It's just funny to me. It's funny to me. It was my entertainment for the day. Like I was literally going to sit here and just make music and organize music all day. And like, then this kind of took over part of my morning and it got me invigorated.
I'm happy. I'm happy it did because like I said, I was feeling sluggish, but I'm fired up after that. Not in a mean or a mad way, but just.
Yeah. So listen,
something to have fun with.
If you want to go listen and make the judgment for yourself, my edit is, oh God, what's it called? It's called Leave the World Behind You, Cream Quiggin Edit. And his is whatever, Leave the World Behind You, Funk D mashup or something like that. It's on his latest edit pack. Listen, go give him a follow. Go download his pack. It's on there. It just came out 4 days ago. That's why I have it. I saw it pop up on SoundCloud. I downloaded it because I follow him.
All right, awesome. So let's put I'll put both those songs or links to those songs in some fashion.
Listen, go follow me on SoundCloud. Let's go. I put edit packs on there all the time.
Yeah. So if you want to do, I'm gonna even I'll put Funkies and I'll put your SoundCloud in the show notes.
Yeah, let's go.
Go follow the guys. Go take a listen, and then we want to hear in the comments below whether you're listening on YouTube or Apple Music or whatever you're listening to it on Spotify. We want to know in some capacity. Find somewhere to comment and let us know what you think.
All right, so let's put a bow on that. Like that, I just thought it would be good to talk about on the podcast. It's something that just happened, and we didn't plan on doing this, but like you said, like we had to do it. So
pure entertainment. That's why we do this.
Yeah. So one topic we really did want to talk about today was, at least, especially here in the Northeast, right? It's January. It's freezing cold. The new COVID variant is whatever running around here. And as we've been saying forever, like these venues see that they're losing money or not making the amount of money that they were making in the fall and pre New Year's Eve time period. And people are starting to cut gigs or try to cut money or take away the happy hour shifts or the opener shift or whatever it might be. And we've been warning you guys. And now it's really, really happening because it's happening at our accounts and with our DJs.
We've been talking about this month since September because you have the influx in September. It starts to peter out sometime beginning of November, picks back up because of Thanksgiving Eve and the holidays, and then dies after New Year's. We just so happen to get hit with this variant, and it spread like wildfire throughout a couple of the bars and nightclubs through staff. And that kind of was an eye-opener to management and ownership. And they knew coming out of New Year's what it looks like when it's 11 degrees at night. Nobody goes out, especially on a Friday.
Listen, it doesn't help that Christmas and New Year's Eve fell on a Friday and Saturday weekend, which took away. There's a lot of factors. There's like numerous numbers of factors that have affected this slow part of the year. New Year's resolutions, people don't drink in the first month. Like there's just a million reasons why it's not going to be good.
Between dry January, between having Friday and Saturday, New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, the huge revenue streams were lost. You get when you have a Friday and Saturday Christmas, it kills our business. And then you also have to take into consideration that all of these businesses are doing their Q4 end of year. And they're like, well, this is what we did in entertainment. We know it's going to be slow. We got to cut back. So like you said, like that happy hour gig that I did last week, well, I was going to go do it this week and now it's not there.
Yeah.
And I was banking on that as my extra set for the week. Instead of playing Saturday afternoon that I would always play when I'm here, I was like, okay, I'll just take the happy hour set. It's not as much money, but it's still money. And then that gets canceled. And that's going to happen. So this is why, like earlier on, when things are busy and you think you can pick and choose gigs, it's important that if you're doing this for financial reasons, to take those gigs early on when it's busy and work yourself to death in September, October, and November. And then in January, you might be forced to take a little break. I'd rather be forced to take a break now and like kill myself early fall than scramble for gigs come January. Because this isn't new. This is every single year. This isn't
right. Plan for a trip, plan for a week or a weekend in somewhere warm in January, because it's the time to do it.
We said that. We went to St. Thomas several times in January. We've done multiple hot vacations in January, do like a Sunday to Thursday thing. And you can come back for the weekend and work your couple of gigs and make some of that money back, or think early. Another good way, something that we did pre-pandemic was we built in a gig or two on vacation just to kind of like offset cost. And then you can like wind up writing off some of your vacation because you are working on vacation. So there are multiple ways to tackle going away in January and then still being able to get some work in, and then also help your tax situation. So I don't know, just some things to think about for the younger guys because you got to remember here, Kareem, a lot of the guys that we're using currently, and I'm sure that a lot of young DJs out there that came out of the pandemic, they weren't DJing 4 days a week pre-pandemic.
Right.
This is their first go around here. can't expect them to know it all, because what happens is it's like, oh shit, like we can preach it, but until you live it, it sometimes takes it to be a reality in your world for it to really sink in.
Right.
You and I can sit here on this podcast all day long and tell people this is how it is. This is how it is. Well,
yeah. Think back to January's where you and I were like, yo, I have like 5 open dates this month. And it's like, it's Christmas and we're like, what the hell are we going to do? Like, we need to fill our gigs. Like we're not really booked out. And then you start scrambling and you start hitting all these people up, but you have to realize everyone's doing that, including all the DJs who do private events, because private events are super slow once January hits. So there are so many fewer gigs and so many more DJs trying to get those gigs. It makes it a lot tougher. So I think something that you and I have both done throughout our careers, and something that I think you guys need to start thinking about, is there's 2 ways of building your business and ensuring that you have gigs, even in this dead January and February, right? You either have an amazing relationship with one nightlife group or couple venues, one owner who is ride or die for you, right? They will take care of you. On a slow night, they're paying you full. On all the special nights, you're the DJ. Like, that's your residency, right? Or your home base, or the group that you're going to do whatever you got to do for. And you know that they're going to give you enough gigs to fill out your month and they're not going to screw you over, right?
Yeah.
The other way is to create a lot of relationships with a lot of different people and a lot of different venues, so that when 1 or 2 venues, let's say, books less DJs or is doing a band on a night, or just doing something else on a night, brings in another promotion company to try and create some interest in a night, you have all these other relationships that you can now lean on to fill in the rest of your month. And you have to be one or the other, because if you're not, you're going to get lost in no man's land.
So this is a perfect scenario of where you come from and where I come from, and how our careers have taken off in completely separate ways. And the way I was always, I stuck to one place and was very, and that doesn't mean every night. That means I think I had a Saturday I would take like an every Thursday, because that's a tough night to get a residency for, and then probably a Saturday, and then fill in my Fridays and my Sundays. And then my Thursday, Saturday residency, I'd take all of their big days. And then when January and February hit, they would never, ever, ever, they would never think about cutting me. And I'd say, oh, will you take $150 today? Or will you take $200 today and you can leave at midnight? It's like, they would consider that a slap in the face, because they know I still have bills,
Right.
that my bills haven't changed from August or from September to January. They're still the same.
Right. And they think back to Parade Day and SantaCon and all the big events that you helped or were involved in, where they made, probably triple what they would normally make in a regular Saturday, let's say.
Right. Yeah. Like, I had a bar that I used to do on St. Patty's Day, and it was, they clear $100,000, no problem that day.
Yeah.
I was getting more money, but like, it wasn't like
a percentage.
It wasn't like a percentage. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you do that, and you do have a relationship with, like, a personal relationship, not just a working relationship, because when you're in a place so often, you do wind up having personal relationships. Actually, come to think of it, that owner just hit me up yesterday or 2 days ago to hang out. So like and I haven't seen him in years.
Dave?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So he hit me up. He's got like 2 kids and everything. He's like, come out, come hang out, come see me. And like I said, I haven't seen him in years. It was out of the blue. And then he sent me a dope playlist. And anyway, so, when that happens, when the slow season comes, they feel bad. You won't get cut. You won't get asked to cut your gigs. Even I never even had a Thursday cut, but like you come to with a mutual understanding that, hey, like, this is going to be tough. This is how it is. And then you have a mutual respect for each other too. And I think I always cherish those scenarios. I like those scenarios. But you excelled going the other way.
Yeah. I had a residency in Hoboken for like I don't know, 8 years in a row, probably at one point,
Yeah,
every Saturday. So I've
true.
done both, but I always made it a point to make sure that I was spreading myself around so that, all right, maybe there's one place that I'm at every week, but the rest of my nights, I'm making sure I'm playing different venues for a number of reasons, right? Like I want to play for different crowds. I want to play different rooms with different styles. I just think that opens you up to a greater fan base. You can meet more people, more opportunities, and you still have to make those personal connections that will allow you to get booked again. And you still have to do a great job DJing. And like, that's kind of a given, but I don't know. I think either way works. You just have to make sure you're doing one or the other, or else you're going to have 0 gigs. And we brought up the personal relationship thing and the network part of it, but like, that's a big part of it too. It's like how you treat people, how you talk to people when you're there. Do you introduce yourself? Do you talk to everybody? You say hi to everybody? Do you help security at the end of the night? Like that'll ingrain you in a place very quickly when you're doing all those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what gets you rehired, and that's what keeps you around during these slim months.
Yeah.
But during these months, you're going to see bookings come up. You can have a booking come up that looks like a bad booking, right? But you never know. There might be somebody in the room that you can make a connection with to project you down the rest of the year in a really positive way. And that happened to us not to say that our booking in Atlantic City was a bad booking, but we did know it'll be a slower night because it was January 1st. It was the night after New Year's Eve. So you knew it was going to be a thinner night, but went into it and wound up being able to talk to somebody who books a lot in Atlantic City and sit down and have a really good conversation where I think if it wasn't as slow, that conversation doesn't happen.
Agree.
He's running around, you're running around. So you got to take advantage sometimes of the downtime when you can get in the ear of the decision maker.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like that, it might look like a bad night or a slow night, and you're kind of down on yourself because of it. Like, oh God, we didn't draw people, or nobody came out to see us. When circumstantially, like you're set up for disaster no matter what happens. Unless you're Tiesto, or Swedish House Mafia. It's like, I'm not bringing people. Like, I mean, they were even pushing people over to James Hype and it, for obviously jack shit compared to James Hype. So like, that's just like, you just got to put yourself in the room at that point. Put yourself in the room, put yourself in the position to talk to that person and make a quality conversation out of it. And hopefully good things come.
Listen, we're all just happy to be in the room or playing in Atlantic City, period. Right. So whenever I go there, like, of course I want 3,000 people in front of me going crazy, but we go in, we did the best job we could for who's in the room, and that's it. And we had the conversation with the decision maker person. And after that conversation, I don't remember who said it, but one of us said, if we weren't even DJing tonight, this trip was completely worth it,
Yeah.
Because it was such a great conversation, and it's going to set us up for future business and hopefully a growing business relationship, and hopefully being able to help some of our DJs break into that market. So you never know who's in the room. You never know, maybe the owner's there that you don't know. Maybe he owns 5 other places and he hears you play for a small room and get a small room going, and boom, like they're going to want you to play all their venues. Or, maybe you're playing the side room and it's dead and you do a great job, and then the next time they put you in the main room. Like, there's just so many times where playing, doing your best and playing your best set, even when the room is not the best, can help you. And we all fall into it where like, this sucks, it's slow, there's nobody here, there's no energy. Well, if you create energy, there'll be a little more energy, even if it's only 10 people. And I think it's important to think about things that way. And we all do it. Every one of us does it sometimes, where we're like, damn, like we kind of go into like, like autopilot or something, where it's just like, I'm just going to play a safe, whatever. We're going to sit in 126 and we're just going to play the rest of the night. But like, if you really rock the set, I think it just helps you so much more. The staff's really listening to you play because it's not busy. The manager's really listening to you play. If the owner's there, they're listening because it's slow. So that's the most important time to do your best, when the people that are really important that make the decisions are listening to you.
It's because we hire so many DJs currently, and we do have some sets that are off times. So a brunch, which could be slow. My brunch was slow as shit on Saturday.
Everything's been slow as shit for the last week, 2 weeks. So it's not a venue-based thing. It's just how we are right now.
Right. So it's really important. Don't get caught fucking around on your phone. Don't get caught walking away from the DJ booth. Don't get caught going to hang out with your friends at the bar. It's easy to do that. I understand the temptation. I understand the ease of it. It's something that I'm not into playing mixes. I don't do it. I don't even keep them. I don't keep too many on my computer. That's just not me, because you just don't know. You could play a track and those 5 people at the bar, which this did happen to me on Saturday. The 5 people that were sitting actually right next to me having brunch got up and started dancing, and they danced for 2.5 hours, and they just kept ordering shots and drinks over. So now the bar made an extra $200, and that puts money in my bartender's pockets. It puts money in the drawer, and now they don't think about
cutting you next week,
canceling the DJ next week.
Yeah.
And that's hugely important. I don't care if there's 5 or 6 people there. Do not put a fucking mix on and go on your phone. It's bullshit. Like, what are you there for? They'll put on Spotify or SoundCloud. Really, what are you there for?
Yeah.
You have no reason. No, you're stealing money.
At least be up there and be present, that you're like pretending to do your job.
Right. Right. If you want to fuck around on your phone, then go on, pull up your iMessenger on your computer at least, and surf the internet on your computer so it looks like you're doing something.
Listen, my hands raised, guilty as charged. I've done it.
I know. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're trying to make your name in a place or in a market or with a hospitality group, these are the most important things that you should be doing to make an impression. You can't make an impression by standing there with your head in your phone while you play a mix. Everybody knows what you're doing. People aren't, like, management isn't stupid anymore. Yeah. Where, like, you could have you were able to get away with mix, like back in the day, and like everybody thought you were live mashing everything, like with mashups. Everybody thought you were live mashing it. Oh, that was sick. Like, you can't get away with that anymore. Everybody knows that all this stuff is pre-done. So management's not stupid. They know what you're doing. Like, just DJ, just do your job. Because if I'm management, I'm ownership, I'd fire you on the spot, and then you're not getting paid, because this is lazy, because you're just taking money out of my pocket, because I'll put on Spotify. I'll put on your SoundCloud. You, the DJ who I just fired, I'll put your SoundCloud on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's easy to do in these slow times. And I just want to let everybody know, don't get caught doing it.
Yeah. That's something that'll piss managers off instantly. Like, instantly.
Yeah. You know who's cleaning up that mess? When it's our DJs.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, it's just one of those things. You just have to show worth, some kind of worth.
Yeah. Something else that we've talked about with our guys, and this might be a little different in all different markets depending on where you're listening, but I think when things get slower, you have to be really cognizant of who's in the room, what music is working, and you really have to be a DJ. You can't just sit in a genre and stay there all night, because there are many options for people to jump around to. So if you're sitting in one zone that someone doesn't like, they're going to leave, because there's 20 other places that they could go to that might play the music they want to hear. So when it's lighter, it's a lot harder to play EDM all night. It's a lot harder to play hip hop all night. You got to change people's ears, and you got to play different stuff. I think that's kind of no matter what your set is, but especially when things are slower.
Yeah. Well, because when you're playing 128 bangers to a room of 50 people, it sounds and looks stupid.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, I walk into a room and, like, the biggest big room songs on, and there's 30, 40 people there. I'm like, this doesn't, it just looks, weird. It looks weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
This song is made for like a festival of like thousands upon thousands of people.
Right.
So to play those remixes with like hip hop in them would be a good way to do it, and like bounce in and out every 3 or 4 songs. I was guilty of this for probably my last, I think, three weeks I was up here, or 2 weeks I was up here. And I made a conscious decision to like really shy away from what my normal set would look like on Saturday. And I had multiple staff members be like, that didn't sound like you at all. They're like, somebody come and asked if you were actually DJing. Because it was just like this conscious effort to be different and to really engage with the crowd instead of expecting the crowd to engage with a song that I played.
Right. Especially when you're playing in the same room a lot, like, staff gets to know your style and regulars get to know your style. So you right. got to do that sometimes just to change it up.
But this was all based on a lot of feedback that we've been getting from other bars. This wasn't a particular situation with that nightclub. It was based on feedback from like 3 other places that we play at. And there's been a repetition of quote unquote too much EDM. And that's exactly what everybody's saying. This DJ plays too much EDM, or your DJs play too much EDM. It's like, shit, let me go look back at my set list because maybe I'm playing too much EDM. And that was the truth. Like there were times where it's lazy. It's a laziness of DJ. I always think like, I get it. Like, I guess it's not a laziness because
it's just preference, because a lot of our guys make house music. It's just what they like and what they make. But it's a difference between being an open format DJ in Hoboken and being a bass house producer that's worldwide. Like there's a big difference.
Yeah.
And you just have to recognize that. It's okay. I don't want to play open format, but I do because I know I want to get asked to come back. So
right. I say laziness because when I decide that I want to be lazy, that's what I do. I'll sit in 128.
Same.
So that's why I say lazy. I'm not calling anybody else lazy. That's myself being lazy. Because I'm like, all right, well, here's like comfort zone. I can mix this, no problem. I know exactly where everything's dropping off and coming in and
right.
done, no matter what song it is. I never have to hear it before.
For me, when playing hip hop, like I have no control where like when I play hip hop, I can only rip through hip hop. So like, if I'm going to play hip hop, I'm going to play 100 songs in 40 minutes, like
the halftime challenge.
Yeah, like halftime.
The halftime challenge, guys. I got to tell you, everybody about this. This was a fun thing we did back at when we played Ainsworth with the Posh Models for football season a while ago, right?
Yeah, years ago.
Many years ago. And Cream would turn to me because we would play together every Sunday, right? I kind of forgot about that. We'd play a lot.
We had 2 separate sets, but we'd always hang out basically.
Right. So he turned to me and go, all right, it's halftime. How many songs do you think I could slam in here? And we would always have like a bet. Halftime's 15 minutes. I was like, I don't know, 18, if you can.
I think the over-under was always like 15.
I think 15 was. If you can get one a minute.
Yeah.
Which just seems like nothing now. But it's still tough because I tried it the other day and I'm like, this is tough.
You just have to know where you're going. Like if you have a specific crate that's built out to like party rock real quick and you have like 20 songs in there, you can just rip through those as quickly as you can because those are probably songs you've played a lot and you just know.
So I challenge you guys this weekend. It's the playoffs. We might have a little bit more of a crowd than we have the last few weeks because people are coming out to see their team. They're excited about the playoffs. It's kind of like the season starts over almost. I challenge you guys to do a little halftime challenge, and I want to know how many tracks you guys can fit in that 15 minutes.
The football party I've been playing recently we don't play game sound. So like there is no halftime challenge anymore.
Sucks. Damn. Okay.
I guess I could still do it, but
why not? Set the clock and go.
Yeah. All right. I think this is a good point to wrap, right? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I always like to end talking a little music and that's definitely a nice place to end up. And hopefully everybody has good sets and take some of that stuff away with them into their sets this weekend. So
yeah, don't get frustrated. Like winter's here, but like we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine. But don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be asked to leave a place.
Right.
That's the last thing we need.
Right. So just suck it up, power through, do your best, be a good DJ. And, April will be here soon enough.
Yeah.
St. Patty's. Once St. Patty's hits, we're good.
6 weeks out from St. Patty's. Like it's here,
Yeah.
But before because the playoffs will pick up a little bit before it's going to be St. Pat. It'll be Leprechaun and then all the parade days throughout our area. So good stuff, Cream.
All right, man. Where are you at this weekend?
Tonight, Thursday. It's going to be yesterday, I think, by the time this comes out. Latin night at 6:26. And then back at my I get to play regular set residency at 6:26 tomorrow night. Took off Saturday afternoon, actually. I'll be attending my dad's retirement party, so that'll be fun. And then I'm playing the Ashford Saturday night, and then Sunday, Fat Taco in Hoboken.
Nice. I have a pretty light week this week. I'm at Common Ground in New York City tonight. I'm actually off tomorrow. I got some family stuff going down. Saturday, Wicked Wolf. Sunday, I'm off. So light week for me after like a crazy long weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. So
sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Get Down. My name is Cream.
Gary W.
Talk to you guys later. Peace.
All right. Peace.